Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. This time, we're going to give you 5 recommendations of winter anime in 2017. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our new videos. Here is the list. Number 5 is Gabriel Dropout. Gabriel Dropout is an anime adaptation from manga with the same name made by Ukami. This anime aired from January 2017 to March 2017, with a total had 12 episodes. Gabriel Dropout tells a story about Gabriel White, who graduated at the top of the class at Angel School and attends a human school on Earth in pursuit for knowledge. However, Gabriel grows addicted to video games on Earth and eventually becomes a hikikomori. Proclaiming herself as a fallen angel, she is apathetic to everything else, much to the annoyance of Vignette April Tsukinoze, a demon whom Gabriel befriended in her angelic early days on Earth. Vignette's attempts to revert Gabriel back to her previous self are in vain, as Gabriel shuts down any attempt to change her previous lifestyle. As they spend their time on Earth, they meet two eccentric personalities. The angel Raphael Answorth Shiraha, Gabriel's classmate with a penchant for sadism, and the demon Satanichia McDowell Kuromizawa, a clumsy self-proclaimed future ruler of the underworld. This anime presents a simple slice of life story about the lives of Gabriel, the fallen angel, and her friends who are also fellow creatures of other worlds. Coupled with a comedy makes this anime much more interesting to watch. Each character in this anime also feels unique with their different personalities, adding to the funny and excitement of this anime. The visuals presented in this anime look simple, coupled with a variety of cute and moe characters that will spoil the audience. Overall, if you are looking for an anime with simple but funny story that is suitable to watch at spare time, then this anime is the answer. Number 4 is Kemono Friends. Kemono Friends is an original anime made by Yaoyorozu Studio. Directed by Tatsuki, the first season of this anime aired from January 2017 to March 2017, and the second season aired from January 2019 to April 2019, with each season had total 12 episodes. Kemono Friends takes place in Jabari Park, an untamed paradise where many humanoid animals known as friends live their everyday lives in all corners of the natural environmental park. One lazy afternoon in the Savannah area, the energetic Seville encounters a peculiar new friend. Curious, she swiftly takes down the friend, named Kaban, to try and discover what species she is. To Seville's disappointment, not even Kaban herself knows the answer. The two become friends and set out on a grand adventure through the many habitats, landmarks, and attractions of Jabari Park. Their destination is the park's library, where they hope to shed some light on Kaban's identity. Along the way, they meet many other friends, looking into their lives and helping them out. However, they soon begin to uncover the sinister reality behind the park and their own existence. This anime provides an adventure story that is both interesting and educational. In each episode, we will be met with various friends who are animals that have become humanoid through their daily activities while solving the problems they face. Although the story in this anime has a cheerful and fun atmosphere, the narration of the story is well written, and the world building is also quite memorable. Coupled with the post-apocalypse theme that is trying to be built along with the mystery that is inserted in this anime makes this anime much more attractive. Each character in this anime feels unique and interesting. Each interaction between the characters is also very fun to watch. Even though the visuals seem ugly because the budget and the people who do it are said to be very minimal, but the interesting story makes some of you will not really care about the visuals. Overall, this anime provides a pleasant viewing experience, both for adults and children. With interesting adventure stories, unique characters, and some mysteries that surround this anime, it will be very unfortunate if you do not watch this anime. Number 3 is Kobayashi-san Chinome Dragon. This anime is an anime adaptation from manga with the same name made by Kukyo Shinja. This anime aired from January 2017 to April 2017 with a total had 13 episodes. Kobayashi-san Chinome Dragon tells a story about Kobayashi, who sets off for another day at work. She opens her apartment door only to be met by an unusually frightening sight, the head of a dragon, staring at her from across the balcony. The dragon immediately transforms into a cute, busty, and energetic young girl dressed in a maid outfit, introducing herself as Toru. It turns out that the stoic programmer had come across the dragon on the previous night on a drunken excursion to the mountains, and since the mythical beast had nowhere else to go, she had offered the creature a place to stay in her home. Thus, Toru had arrived to cash in on the offer, ready to repay her savior's kindness by working as her personal maidservant. Though deeply regretful of her words and hesitant to follow through on her promise, a mix of guilt and Toru's incredible dragon abilities convinces Kobayashi to take the girl in. Despite being extremely efficient at her job, the maid's unorthodox methods of housekeeping often end up horrifying Kobayashi and at times bring more trouble than help. Furthermore, the circumstances behind the dragon's arrival on Earth seem to be much more complicated than at first glance, as Toru bears some heavy emotions and painful memories. To top it all off, Toru's presence ends up attracting several other mythical beings to her new home, bringing in a host of eccentric personalities. Although Kobayashi makes her best effort to handle the crazy situation that she has found herself in, nothing has prepared her for this new life with a dragon maid. This anime is an anime that has a simple story about the unusual life of Kobayashi with Toru, a dragon who became a maid or servant in her house to be able to live together. In addition to the simple story, there are also some funny moments and comedy from the characters that will make the audience laugh out loud. Each unique character with various personalities make this anime much more interesting. The visual presented looks simple for a well-known animation studio like Kyoto Animation but can provide a feel that matches the story presented in this anime. Overall, if you like stories of everyday life that are relaxed even though sometimes it can make you laugh, then this anime is suitable for you to watch. Number 2 is Youjo Senki. Youjo Senki is an anime adaptation from light novel made by Shinobu Shinotsuki and Carlos Zen. This anime aired from January 2017 to March 2017, with total had 12 episodes. Youjo Senki tells story about Tanya de Gurechov, a young soldier infamous for predatory-like ruthlessness and an uncanny tactical aptitude, earning her nickname for the Devil of the Rhine. Underneath her innocuous appearance, however, lies the soul of a man who challenged Being X, the self-proclaimed god, to a battle of wits, which resulted in him being reincarnated as a little girl into a world of magical warfare. Hellbent on defiance, Tanya resolves to ascend the ranks of her country's military as it slowly plunges into world war, with only Being X proving to be the strongest obstacle in recreating the peaceful life she once knew. But her perspective action and combat initiative have an unintended side effect, propelling the mighty empire into becoming one of the most powerful nations in mankind's history. This anime gives a unique isekai story about a man who was reincarnated as a woman and sent to a world that has several empires that are at war. The story that revolves around the main character and the war that is going on felt very interesting to follow. Moreover, the war story that was delivered in this anime is like a mixture of World War I and II coupled with various fantasy elements such as magic. The characters in this anime have unique personalities, especially the main characters, adding to the excitement of the story presented in this anime. Visually displayed nicely and animated battle scenes that are displayed look intense and exciting. Overall, by mixing the themes of World War and magic, this anime is suitable for you who like isekai anime that is different to usual. Number 1 is Little Witch Academia. This is an original anime made by Trigger Studio. Directed by Yo Yoshinari, this anime aired from January 2017 to June 2017, with a total had 25 episodes. This anime tells a story about Ako, who aspired to be a witch just like the renowned witch Shiny Chariot, one that can make people smile. Hence, even her non-magical background does not stop her from enrolling in Luna Nova Magical Academy. However, when an excited Ako finally sets off to her new school, the trip there is anything but smooth. After her perilous journey, she befriends the shy Lotte Jensen and the sarcastic Suchi Manbeveren. To her utmost delight, she also discovers Chariot's wand, the shiny rod, which she takes as her own. Unfortunately, her time at Luna Nova will prove to more challenging than Aka could ever believe. She absolutely refuses to stay inferior to the rest of her peers, especially to her self-proclaimed rival, the beautiful and gifted Diana Cavendish. So she relies on her determination to compensate for her reckless behavior and ineptitude in magic. In a time when wizardry is on the decline, Little Witch Academia follows the magical escapades of Akko and her friends as they learn the true meaning of being a witch. This anime gives story about Akko's life in learning magic at the magic school even though she was born in the family with a magic background. The story presented in this anime is quite simple because it only shows Akko's daily life in studying at the magic school. Conflicts that exist in each episode are also only minor conflicts that are not too related to the main story. Until mid-season, then important conflicts and related to the main story appear until the end. Even so, each episode of the story that was presented feels interesting, plus some comedy elements that are presented make this anime much more funny. Each character feels unique, plus the development of the character that is so felt in each episode make this anime much more interesting. The visuals displayed in this anime are very slick, coupled with smooth animations typical of the Trigger Studio. Overall, this anime is one of the interesting anime in the 2017 winter, with a simple but interesting story and slick animation that makes you must not miss. Well, it's the list of 5 winter anime recommendations in 2017. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching and see you later!